Have you ever pondered if something as straightforward as fruit could subtly undermine your health? We've been told since childhood that fruits are nature's confectionery, brimming with vitamins, antioxidants, and wholesome sustenance. Yet what's rarely mentioned is this: not all fruits offer the same benefits, particularly as our years advance. For those of us over the age of 60, our physical systems are undergoing transformation. Our metabolic rate decelerates, our digestive tract becomes more sensitive. Blood sugar regulation grows more precarious. And the truth is, certain fruits, while advantageous for younger folks, can gradually turn detrimental for seniors. Indeed, hazardous. Elevated sugar, dangerous drug interactions, or concealed acidity. They possess the potential for genuine harm if we're not prudent. But there's encouraging news. Nature also furnishes crucial fruits that bolster heart function, counteract bodily irritation, safeguard memory, and even enhance skeletal density. Today, having navigated a long life and dedicated years to studying these shifts, I wish to impart insights on the four fruits you ought to bypass and the four you unequivocally must incorporate into your diet. Your body merits superior care. Let's dive directly in. Prior to delving deeper, if you haven't already subscribed, I strongly suggest you click that button and activate the notification bell so you never miss another health tip tailored specifically for you. Should you find this video valuable, please type 1 in the comments. If not, input 0 to indicate how I might refine the content for your benefit. The four hazardous fruit seniors should refrain from consuming. 1. Grapefruit, the stealthy peril for those on medication. At first glance, the grapefruit appears innocuous, even appealing. Its vivid pink pulp, bracing tartness, and reputation for promoting heart health have made it a common sight on many breakfast tables. However, for older individuals, especially those beyond 60, this fruit harbors a concealed and significantly underestimated risk. Beneath its juicy exterior lies a biochemical threat that few discuss, a threat that quietly interferes with the very pharmaceuticals, sustaining your heart rate, stabilizing your blood pressure, and mitigating your anxiety. Grapefruit contains a compound that obstructs a vital liver enzyme known as CYP3A4, tasked with breaking down numerous widely prescribed drugs utilized by seniors. 2. When this enzyme is inhibited, the medications you ingest can accumulate to alarmingly high concentrations in your circulation, akin to a dammed river with nowhere to proceed. The repercussions can be severe. Profound muscle deterioration from statin drugs, life-threatening cardiac rhythm abnormalities, excessive bleeding from blood thinners, or intensified sedative effects from anxiety medications. For those reliant on their prescriptions for survival, this seemingly wholesome fruit could evolve into an unacknowledged adversary. The regrettable aspect is that the majority of seniors remain unaware. They consume grapefruit in the morning and take their pills afterward, never linking the events until they require emergency medical attention. Some do not survive to comprehend what transpired. That is the cost of trusting what appears healthy without understanding the underlying reality. This is not about instilling unnecessary dread. It concerns gaining insight through experience. Grapefruit is not inherently malevolent, but for seniors managing medications, and that encompasses over 70% of Americans beyond 65, it is simply not worth the gamble. There exist safer fruits to relish without jeopardizing your heart, liver, or existence. Yet if grapefruit, looking so bright and cheerful, can conceal danger openly, what other fruits might also feign safety while subtly working against your vitality? Let's scrutinize the subsequent example. It's diminutive, sugary, and surprisingly detrimental when consumed excessively. If you're still watching and finding these revelations beneficial, kindly leave a comment with the number 1 below to signal you're following along. Now let's proceed to our second point. 2. Cherries, palatable yet hazardous for those with joint issues and blood sugar concerns. Cherries, so small, so sweet, and so deceptively harmless. For many of us, they evoke summer memories of fresh pies cooling on windowsills, bowls overflowing with cherries at outdoor gatherings, and the satisfying pop as the seed is released. But as we age, what once felt like a treat may now stealthily compromise our health. You see, cherries, particularly in substantial quantities or in concentrated forms, like juices, dehydrated fruits, and syrups, contain remarkably high levels of intrinsic sugars. A single cup of sweet cherries holds nearly 20 grams of sugar. For younger individuals with quicker metabolisms and consistent insulin responses, this might not be a major concern. However, for seniors managing type 2 diabetes, prediabetes, or even undiagnosed insulin resistance, that sugar enters the bloodstream, rapidly inducing spikes that gradually damage organs and leave us feeling weary, mentally hazy, and susceptible. And the risk extends beyond sugar. Cherries possess an inherent acidity, and for older adults coping with systemic inflammation, joint pain, or arthritis, this acidity can exacerbate symptoms. Granted, fresh cherries supply antioxidants. But when consumed excessively, especially in processed forms, the acidic and sugary components can backfire. What you hoped would comfort your body may instead intensify the very discomfort you seek to alleviate. And what is the price you pay? Silent, incremental damage. You might not perceive it immediately, but the aggravation in your knees that disrupts your morning walk, the surge in your blood sugar that causes dizziness, the restless night due to swollen joints, it's all interconnected. That bowl of cherries eaten with good intent becomes a catalyst for discomfort, instability, and enduring harm. It's distressing because cherries seem so secure. But the truth is, as we mature, even sweetness must be approached with caution. And if these tiny fruits can disturb your equilibrium so markedly, imagine what occurs when your potassium levels spiral uncontrollably from something far more common, something many seniors consume daily without a second thought. 3. Bananas' excessive potassium can be problematic. For most of our lives, bananas have been perceived as a symbol of well-being. Simple, practical, rich in potassium. We were informed they aid muscle cramps, boost vitality, and are beneficial for the heart. And for a younger physique, that might hold true. However, as we get older, our bodies no longer process nutrients in the same manner, and an abundance of a good thing can subtly evolve into a threat. Bananas are indeed abundant in potassium. Yet for seniors, particularly those with compromised kidney function, cardiac conditions, or who use blood pressure medications such as ACE inhibitors or potassium-sparing diuretics, this potassium can accumulate to dangerous levels. Your kidneys, once efficient filters, now begin to operate more slowly, and that surplus potassium does not exit the body as it should. It lingers in your system, stealthily entering your circulation, disrupting your heart's natural rhythm, your muscles' capacity to contract, and even your mental clarity. This condition, termed hyperkalemia, doesn't typically make headlines, but it dispatches thousands of seniors to emergency departments annually. Consuming one too many bananas over the span of a week can be sufficient. You might experience a fluttering sensation in your chest, feebleness in your lower limbs, or a general feeling of being unwell. But by the time symptoms manifest, the adverse effects may already be in progress. And the price you pay, a fruit that should nourish you instead, risks robbing your stability, your energy, and even your heartbeat. Most seniors never suspect the banana. It appears too basic, too wholesome. But simplicity can be misleading, particularly when your body's internal mechanisms are more fragile than they appear externally. So before reaching for another banana, ask yourself, is this genuinely what my body requires, or is it merely a habit I've adopted? Because sometimes the hazard lies not in what we dread, but in what we assume is benign. And that is exceptionally true with a fruit that masks itself as healthy, a fruit many consider a snack, but which is in reality a concentrated sugar trap presented as dry nutrition. 4. Dried fruits. The concealed sugar overload. They reside neatly in small snack packs, appearing innocuous, even wholesome raisins, dates, desiccated apricots, cranberries. We encounter them in trail mixes, sprinkled over oats, or offered in doctors' waiting rooms as a healthy choice. But for seniors, dried fruits often hide a stark reality beneath their wrinkled exterior. They are sugar bombs in the guise of wellness products. What many fail to grasp is that when fruit undergoes dehydration, the water is removed, but the sugars persist, now condensed into a much smaller portion. A small handful of raisins might seem harmless, but it equates to consuming an entire cluster of grapes, minus the fiber, minus the moisture, and with all the sugar concentrated. Furthermore, most dried fruits found in stores are also coated in supplementary sugar or preserved with sulfites, which can aggravate conditions like asthma, migraines, and even provoke gastrointestinal inflammation. For us in our senior years, especially those managing type 2 diabetes, elevated blood pressure, or digestive sensitivities, These small snacks can quietly wreak havoc. They trigger sudden blood sugar spikes, cause abdominal distress, and worst of all, they perpetuate a false sense of healthy eating. You believe you're making a prudent selection, but your body incurs a silent penalty. And the price you pay, the gradual damage inflicted by a daily snack that seems benign. It's the rise in blood glucose that burdens your heart. It's the indigestion that disrupts your rest. It's the energy slump that follows the sugar surge. Dried fruit might seem like an ally, but for numerous older adults, it becomes an unseen pilferer, gradually diminishing comfort, equilibrium, and metabolic stability. We must learn to question not merely what tastes sweet, but what has been packaged and treated to appear appealing while causing harm. Because just as some fruits can mislead us in dried form, others still fresh, still whole, can become the very remedy our bodies yearn for. So let us now turn our attention towards optimism. The fruits that revitalize, shield, and energize us, even in our 60s, 70s, and beyond. What fruits should you be consuming regularly each week to maintain sharpness, vigor, and steadiness? Let's commence with a small blue fruit that might just safeguard your recollection. The 4 essential fruits that can bolster your health after 60. Entremont, blueberries, a guardian for cognitive vitality. There's an understated magic to a blueberry. Tiny, unassuming, and humble, it seldom commands attention like more flamboyant fruits. Yet within each miniature berry resides one of nature's most potent offerings, particularly for those of us embarking on the later chapters of existence. At a period when memory can begin to wane and mental clarity occasionally slips away like sand through one's fingers, blueberries provide a glimmer of hope. Not just consolation, but genuine safeguarding. Scientific research has corroborated what many of us have long sensed: our dietary choices influence how we think, how we recall, and even how we feel. And among all the fruits researched for brain health, blueberries consistently rank highest. Abundant in anthocyanins, those deep blue pigments, they do more than merely give the berry its hue. They act as protectors, traversing the blood-brain barrier to diminish inflammation, enhance communication between neural cells, and shield against the oxidative stress that slowly erodes memory and function. Consistent consumption of blueberries has been linked to a slower rate of cognitive decline, improved capacity for making decisions, and even a reduced likelihood of developing Alzheimer's disease. For seniors, these are not insignificant promises. They are critical lifelines. They represent more opportunities to remember the names of loved ones, more moments of mental sharpness during quiet mornings, and greater autonomy when it matters most. But the virtue of blueberries isn't solely in their benefits for the brain. They also assist in managing blood pressure, support cardiovascular health, and contain low sugar levels, making them an excellent choice for individuals with diabetes and those concerned about heart conditions. A simple half cup daily added to yogurt, oatmeal, or eaten plain can make a noticeable difference. In a world saturated with pills and prescriptions, it's easy to overlook that some of the most potent remedies originate from the earth. Blueberries serve as proof. They don't just nurture, they shield, restore, and gently preserve what is most precious, your mind. And if this small blue fruit can sharpen your memory, consider what a crisp, fiber-rich apple can achieve in protecting your heart, and why having one daily might genuinely help keep the doctor away. 2. Apples. The fibrous champion for cardiovascular wellness. There is quiet wisdom embedded in the traditional saying, "An apple a day keeps the doctor away." And while it might sound basic, even outdated, this modest fruit embodies truths that are more relevant than ever for those of us beyond 60. At a juncture when our hearts demand greater care, our digestion becomes more delicate, and our bodies signal a need for equilibrium, the apple provides formidable protection in its most commonplace form. Apples are rich in soluble fiber, particularly pectin, a type of fiber that adheres to cholesterol within the digestive system and aids in its elimination before it enters the bloodstream. For seniors, this implies that apples can actively lower harmful LDL cholesterol, decreasing the probability of heart attacks and strokes without requiring additional pills. They are also naturally low in calories and sugar, rendering them a secure, satisfying snack that promotes stable blood sugar levels and healthy weight maintenance, both vital for heart and joint health in later years. Yet apples offer more than just cardiac protection. Their fiber also supports a healthy digestive tract, alleviating constipation, a frequent and troublesome issue as we age. And the antioxidants found in the skin, quercetin and flavonoids, supply anti-inflammatory effects that contribute to overall well-being, potentially even helping to lessen the risk of certain malignancies and age-related neurological conditions. And perhaps equally important, apples are profoundly familiar. They evoke memories of autumn harvests, homemade baked goods, and the simple delight of a crisp bite on a cool day. There is solace in that alongside nourishment, both physical and emotional. A single fruit so readily available can subtly influence your health in significant ways. So yes, consuming one apple daily truly can bring about positive change, not merely through what it contributes, but through what it helps your body avoid. And if the apple serves as a quiet guardian for your heart, then what about a fruit that simultaneously nourishes your bones, your brain, and your skin? It's creamy, abundant, and frequently misunderstood. Let's discuss the avocado. 3. Avocados, beneficial fats that fuel your system. Among all the fruits on display, the avocado distinguishes itself. It doesn't burst with sweetness. It lacks vibrant colors. And it's not the sort of fruit you'd find resting in a bowl on the kitchen counter. But for those of us in our 60s and beyond, the avocado is more than sustenance. It's energy for longevity, clarity, and strength. Abundant in monounsaturated fats, avocados provide the type of fat your body requires, as it matures fats that do not obstruct your arteries but rather shield your heart, nourish your brain, and reduce unhealthy cholesterol. They assist in lowering inflammation throughout the body, easing discomfort in aging joints, and supporting smoother mobility. For seniors navigating or seeking to prevent heart disease, this fruit can be a transformative addition. But the advantages extend deeper. Avocados are packed with vitamin K, indispensable for bone strength and preventing fractures, something we often overlook until a fall reminds us of our increasing vulnerability. They also furnish folate and potassium, aiding in blood pressure management, improving circulation, and reducing the likelihood of stroke. And thanks to the presence of lutein, a potent antioxidant, they support ocular health, guarding against macular degeneration and vision loss associated with age. Beyond the scientific data, avocados impart a sense of richness, not merely in consistency, but in how they make us feel. A few slices on whole grain toast, a dollop alongside fresh greens, it feels like nourishment, not restriction. At a stage of life where numerous foods are deemed off limits, the avocado signals, "I am here to support you, not to hinder." Thus, while others might pursue the latest trend or exotic superfood, this creamy green fruit delivers unobtrusively, reliably, and profoundly. And if avocados lend strength to your bones and sharpness to your mind, envision a fruit that not only comforts your digestive system, but also aids in calming inflammation throughout your body, particularly where you experience it most in your joints. Let's delve into the therapeutic qualities of papaya. 4. Papaya, a wonder for gut health and calming inflammation. In a marketplace filled with easily accessible antacids, joint relief creams, and countless nutritional supplements, it's easy to forget that sometimes the most effective relief stems from the most uncomplicated sources. Papaya, with its yielding golden interior and tropical sweetness, is more than just a pleasant treat. It is a natural therapeutic agent, especially for individuals in their senior years. As we advance in age, our digestive processes become more sensitive. Meals that were once tolerated effortlessly now result in bloating, unease, or acid reflux. However, papaya contains papain, a naturally occurring enzyme that gently assists the body in breaking down proteins, alleviating the strain on your digestive system. For seniors struggling with sluggish digestion, inconsistent bowel movements, or the adverse effects of long-term medications, papaya offers not merely comfort, but genuine relief. Beyond its digestive benefits, papaya is abundant in vitamins C, A, and E, nutrients recognized for boosting the immune system, protecting the skin, and combating inflammation, a significant contributor to chronic ailments such as arthritis and heart disease. For older adults managing joint stiffness, inflammation, or a weakened immune response, papaya operates subtly in the background to reestablish equilibrium and mitigate the silent harm occurring internally each day. Its consistency is soft, its taste gentle, and its impact significant. It requires no cooking, no intricate preparation, no difficulty. Just a few slices daily can support your body from within. More than just food, papaya serves as a reminder that healing doesn't always come in a container. Occasionally, it arrives in nature's own packaging, ready to assist those who prioritize genuine wellness over quick fixes. And now that we have examined the fruits that support your brain, fortify your heart, rebuild your bones, and calm your digestive tract, the question arises: what occurs when you integrate these choices? How can you transform them into a straightforward daily regimen that safeguards your future one bite at a time? Let's uncover that next. Your well-being rests in your control, one deliberate bite at a time. As we navigate the latter portions of life, a quiet truth becomes increasingly evident with each passing year. We can no longer afford to disregard our health. The foods we once consumed without a second thought, those we grew up with, celebrated with, or simply enjoyed, habitually now carry new significance. Every mouthful either contributes to healing or adds to the burden our bodies must manage. But here lies the promise: it is never too late to adopt better habits. And sometimes those improved choices are not drastic or challenging. They are as simple as selecting a blueberry instead of a handful of dried fruit, opting for an apple instead of a sugary snack, incorporating slices of avocado in place of processed spreads, adding papaya to your morning meal instead of seeking relief through pills. These small decisions made consistently day after day begin to construct something potent: a stronger heart, a clearer mind, steadier joints, enhanced digestion, and most significantly, a feeling of agency over your own vitality. That is a valuable asset worth protecting. We must also graciously and wisely acknowledge that not every food remains suitable for us. Certain fruits, despite being natural and once beneficial, may now counteract our aging systems. Grapefruit, bananas, cherries, dried fruits. They are not inherently bad, but they necessitate prudence. They demand that we remain conscious of our medications, our blood sugar levels, our kidney function, and our individual health conditions. And being mindful is not about fear, it is about maturity. It is about respecting the body that has sustained us through all these years. Let this serve as a reminder not of what you are prohibited from having, but of all the good things you still can enjoy. Nature has bestowed upon us an abundance of restorative foods. We merely need to select them deliberately. So whether you are 60, 70, 80, or beyond, understand this: your health is not a relic of the past. It exists right here, right now, in every meal and every choice. The fruits you welcome into your life can be more than just sustenance. They can be your allies in longevity, your protectors, your daily expression of self-respect. And when you care for your body in this manner with knowledge and affection, you don't simply extend your years. You infuse life into those years, because you deserve to age with vigor, with dignity, and with happiness, one conscious bite at a time. These insights are intended to inspire you to live fully and genuinely. Now, I would greatly appreciate hearing from you. Take a moment to reflect and share one insight you have gained and intend to implement in your own life. Let us support one another on this journey towards embracing these truths. If you found this video enjoyable, please leave a comment with the number 1. If not, feel free to comment with 0. Your feedback is greatly valued. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel for similar content. Thank you for watching, and here's to living life exactly as you choose.